as good as anybody could do, I would say, you've always, played Shai tough, play Ant tough. Like, what do you sort of think in terms of like, your just like recommendations with those two in particular about just, what you've done that's been successful and what you think like other teams should try to do?
I think like they should pray more for real, like especially with them two. Like just pray, bro. Like
Welcome to The Young Man in the Three, as always, presented by our friends at Wondery Media and 342 Productions. We got a big guest today. Trey, you do the honors. Who we got on the show?
Man, we got my dog straight out of Atlantic City in D.C. My boy went to Xavier. He one of the funniest people on the planet. And most of all, that's my best friend, Naji Marshall.
He's blushing. Look at him. He's so happy. He's the happiest he's been in months.
Yes, sir. For sure.
Before we get to the draft, Naji, what was your first impression meeting Trey? I love asking this question because it's usually some like out-of-pocket shit.
I remember in Summer League when I first met him, like Trey wasn't talking to me. I was kind of confused. Like, did he think he was bigger than the program or something? Then when we started playing, he was dunking. Like, yo, he's wild, nice. So then I started forcing him to make him talk to me. And then ever since then, we've been the closest of friends for real.
Yeah.
Were you not talking to him, Trey? Can you clarify?
Yeah, what's up with that, bro?
Okay, so I'll tell you what it was. Like, when I first got to the team, I just tried to keep everybody at arm's distance because, I didn't know who to trust, all this other stuff. And, I was a wing. He was a wing. Like, I don't know, like the playing time situation. I'm just trying to make sure I do what I'm supposed to do. Make sure I get my feet wet in the NBA. So it wasn't nothing like towards him at all. But I was just I was just a little standoffish because it was a little foreign. It was a little foreign being in the NBA.
But he was nervous. I worried you. Yeah. Nah,
something like that, yeah.
I'm like that too, though. When I get around people for the first time, I'm kind of shy, so I just don't say nothing or, a little standoffish for real. Try to secure the bag, secure my spot.
Are you more just kind of like, you just kind of watch and observe rather than just being like,
yeah, for sure. I like to watch and observe, see who's nice, see what I got to do to get where I want to go. So, how long
do you think it normally takes to like, don't you feel like sometimes you got to like, not like go out, like party, but you got to like have some kind of bonding experience with somebody and then you're like good after that?
Yeah, probably. That's probably how long it takes. Like once we do our first bonding experience and really get to know a person, we probably good after that.
Once you had your first excess night?
And in all honesty, though, low-key with Naj, it seemed like his closest friends, it start off with the altercation, and then they become best friend, and then they become best friend.
For sure. Gotta see where your heart at first.
What's an example of that?
Like, if I meet you in practice, like, say you get drafted like Murph, we probably was in practice playing physical. I probably was grabbing Murph jersey, probably was fouling him. We probably exchanged words like, what's up? Like, you want to fight or something? And then after that's before we became friends.
Then we get on the court, one time he pushed me too. He pushed me and I almost fell. And then I was like, all right, see, now I got mad. And then that became a lot closer after that.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm actually
tough love.
I'm curious, like, what is the line? Like, I feel like I've talked about this with like Joakim before. Like, what's the line between the people who are like, you're a really good teammate, but then you would hate to play against them? Like, if you are like when you guys play against each other now, obviously you're this close, but you're both competitors. You know what I mean? So you're still going to pull your shit in the game. So how do you like pull that and then like kind of reel it back out once you're not playing anymore?
I don't know. I think it's just part of the game and being great too. We both, at this point, we friends, so we know we both trying to either get a stop or score. So regardless, whatever that takes to stop that from happening, we know that we got to do our job. But at the end of the day, it's just basketball. That's really my dog. So I could care less, win or lose. Like, as long as we out there, we both in the NBA at the end of the day. So
We should talk about Monday night, the lottery. I talked to Trey. I was at the Knicks game. I talked to him afterwards. Naji, where were you during the actual lottery itself?
that was my house.
Were you watching or were you not paying attention?
No, I was watching. I forgot it came on. I turned on ESPN. It was on top 5. I seen us across the board. I looked at my man. I'm like, what? It just kept going down. 3, 2, 1. I started jumping in the air. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, how? Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, how is correct.
But I'm excited, bro. So excited.
What was your
for the future.
what was your first call afterwards?
I think I called my family group chat, to be honest. I was just excited. I didn't even call nobody. Like, I still haven't talked to none of my teammates about it for real. I talked to Jaden, but that's about it. Like, it's crazy.
Did you know
who called you shortly? Who called you shortly after the lottery too?
You. That's good though. That means you was upset, and I wasn't.
My bad, Tom. What you about to say?
No, what'd you say to him?
Disbelief. He couldn't believe it.
Well, when I first called him, he was talking about something else, and then he hung up the phone, and I was like, "Bro, I was calling you about the lottery," and then he called me back, and then we talked about that.
Yeah.
Conversations go on many tangents with me and I never really talk about the main point a lot of times. So,
did you know at the time the you guys had 1.8% chance? Did you like understand the how like it's one thing for you to win if you were like in the top 8 or top 9, but like that percentage is fucking bonkers.
No, I understand. It's very crazy. Like, I can't believe it. Like, how though? Like, honestly, how? But like I said, I'm ecstatic and I cannot wait. It's an unbelievable opportunity.
What do you know about Cooper?
I mean, I love his game, honestly. Like, for real. Like, he's a winner. I love how he hoop. I love his dog. Like, the dog, yeah, I'm a dog, so that's really what I'm looking for. And he's a dog, too, so I'm excited, bro. I'm excited to see him grow, become a star in the league. I'm excited.
Trey, what do you think based off your even just watching him at USA and just being around him a little bit?
Yeah, no, I could tell. So my first interaction with him was at Nike Skills. This was probably 2 summers ago, I want to say. And it was in Portland. And I saw him like up close and personal. I was one of the, NBA like guys that was, working out with the kids and stuff like that. And I was just like, bro, he's like different and he moves different. He's a lot more advanced than, a lot of these other guys, and they're all top 100 players here. And then seeing him again at USA, he has still gotten a lot better. And then at Duke too, I feel like he lived up to his expectations, and that's really tough to do because I feel like he was even more highly touted than a lot of other like number 1 players that went into Duke as a went into Duke, and he still performed, did well. And there's a lot of pressure playing at Duke. There's a lot of pressure being number 1 overall player in the country, and then the projected number 1 pick. So it's you got to tip your hat off for all that he did in college.
How long does it take if someone's a dog? Like how long does it take you to really figure that out?
How long? You can just tell. Me, see, like, I'm so dogged up, I can tell by the walk and the layup lines. Like, I know what it looked like. But for somebody who doesn't know, but it shouldn't take long. Like, you can just tell by somebody's motor how hard they play. Just they want to win so bad. That's what they do out there on the floor.
Yeah, there's also a lot of fake dogs too. So a lot of guys.
A lot of fake dogs. It's a lot of fake dogs.
All right, let's get a list of real dogs right now. Who are you just like, you got to tip your cap?
That play in the league right now?
Yeah.
I go Jimmy Butler.
I'm sorry about that.
What's funny?
It's just funny you said the first thing because I was watching an NBA fight compilation on YouTube.
Yeah, 2 dogs going at it. Jimmy Butler. Who else is a dog? Giannis, you dog. Like, Dre. I get Draymond Green. He is a dog. He said top 5, so
Yeah. James Johnson.
James Johnson. See, James Johnson's different. Like, it's a different animal. We're not even gonna say a dog. He's the 100-man versus the gorilla. That's James. He's the gorilla. Paul. But who else? It's 2 more. Me. Dylan Brooks is a dog. I give it to him.
What about like somebody little? What about someone
Somebody
undersized?
little Jose. Oh yeah, my fault. I can't forget about Jose. Jose's a dog.
Jose's one.
For sure.
You got any? Who do you miss?
What type of dog? Do you have
miss?
like a type of dog specifically that Jose would be?
Jose is a dog that's like medium sized that like you gotta ask the owner, like, what type of dog is that? Like, he's not like a pit or a cane, like you can recognize him off the jump. Like, you like, excuse me, what type of dog is that? Like, I like it. And then they say a dog you never heard of before. That's the type of dog he is.
You asked me about my dog list.
Who do you miss?
Low key, I'll put Josh Hart in that category.
I forgot about Josh too.
Yeah, Josh. Definitely Josh. And
that thing the other night was pretty. That kind of shows what you're talking about. Getting
really,
his shit cut up like
all the wings on New York are dogs. Mikal, OG, Josh. I just can name everybody, to be honest. But you said 5.
Can I give you one? Can I give you one who's playing tonight? Let's see if you got Pritchard.
Oh yeah, he is a dog. They call him the pit bull.
Yeah, he be shoulder bumping everybody too.
He a dog for sure.
Do you know what he does in his summer workouts?
What?
We did an episode with him and D White, and he was telling us about it. He basically lives in Oregon, and he hires all these D1 players. He hires like 20 D1 players, and he plays 1-on-3. And they got to stop him. So they got to defend him to stop him. And basically, if they stop him, he pays them. So he's like paying out like 50 racks a year minimum. Because like they're stopping him a lot because they're good. And he's literally just like, I won't get better unless I do that. And it's like, he kind of has that energy to him of like, you got to be a little unhinged to be that size and make it.
See what I'm saying? Like when you're unhinged like that, you're a dog, bro. Like, people don't even think like that, bro. For real. Like, that's
1-on-3?
1-on-3. I'm going to give you some bread if you stop this shit.
Wait.
Like, that's a dog right there.
Wait, I want to get back to the layup lines. Like, what's an example of like, what are you doing in a layup line where you're like, shit, you're like, this dude's for real?
You just tell how they look. Like, for instance, Josh Hart. So you can tell Josh Hart is a dog over there. He might tackle you if you got a wide open layup. Like, you can just tell how they walk. Draymond, if they listening to the music all crazy, too hype, you can just tell they wired different, bro. Like, they want to win this game tonight. For sure.
Naji, I want to get into a little background stuff. So how old were you when you moved from AC? You're 9 or 10?
I was 9.
You're 9. And where did you guys go in Maryland?
I moved to Greenville, Maryland. So it's like PG County.
And so were you going back and forth, or like what was the setup?
So I would stay in Maryland for the whole school year, and then I would go to AC for the whole summer.
And your dad was a fighter?
Yeah, he was a boxer.
Do you think that how much, what, I mean, it seems kind of obvious, but like in terms of like that impact on you just as an athlete, like what do you think that just growing up in a family like that, like impacted you?
I just seen what hard work looks like from a young age, just being in the gym with my dad. I have older brothers too who played football, basketball. They also, some of them box. So I just seen what hard work looked like. And, I just always wanted to be like them growing up. So, when I got my opportunity and I fell in love with a sport, I just put a lot of work into it. And, just thank God I reaped the benefits from it.
Did you ever think about fighting?
Hell nah. I'm tall, lanky. Somebody knock my big ass out. Hell nah. I'm a hooper.
You sure? You showed a few instances of some evidence that you might actually got a little career
I mean, that's just in my blood. I'm just not going, but I'm just saying, actually boxing now, I'm a heavyweight too. I weigh 230. That's heavyweight.
And I'll tell you this, Tommy, he be forgetting how strong he is a lot of times. So he'll playfully punch people, and it's like, bro, stop. Like, it actually, like, that hurt. Like, stop doing that.
My apologies, bro. You saw. See, Tommy, that ain't a dog right there.
Just strong
You know
hands.
what I'm saying?
How do you think Trey would do in the ring?
With some training, I don't know, bro. Like, it get dangerous in there, bro. Trey got a little head, so it's not like an easy target, bro. So I don't know, though, bro. You too leaky.
Exactly. You're not going to touch
out.
me. You're not going to touch me. That's the thing. I'm going to keep an arms of this and not going to touch me.
You do have the reach. You definitely have the reach.
I think the wingspan would save us a lot of times, but somebody got in close and with the Trey body, he would fold, man.
You not?
I am. That's why I play basketball.
It is a funny thing. Like people always talk about like NFL. They're like, all right, how NBA players are being in the NFL. But it is with like boxing, like because the height thing is not an advantage really. So it is kind of like you need to be the guys who are like more compact.
You need to know what you're doing in a boxing ring because you could go to sleep in there. For real. Yeah, it goes crazy.
So how'd you end up at Xavier?
I just really love Chris Mike Pegues. He was from the same place I'm from in PG County, so I just built a relationship with those guys over there. And Trayvon Blewett, JP McCure, those are my guys too going over there. Tyreek Jones, so it just felt like home when I would go there on my visits more than the other schools. Small school, something I needed, just to be in the gym, stuff like that.
We'd like to thank our sponsor, DraftKings. The NBA 82-game grind is done, and now the real fun begins. The NBA playoffs are here, and it's time for all the high-stakes drama, clutch moments, and jaw-dropping plays. I cannot wait. I've been on DraftKings a lot recently, obviously with everything going on playoff-wise. What I really want to see is team futures for next year and see where the Dallas Mavericks, the story of the last 24 hours in the NBA, are going to be placed because I think we are setting up for a pretty big comeback. If you're looking to make the playoffs even more exciting, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered as an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Try placing a bet on your favorite player's performance. Whether they drop 30 points, 40 points, or more, it's your call. And here's something special for first-timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Make it a playoff run to remember with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code YoungMan. That's code YoungMan for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
You go undrafted in 2020, you end up in the league in Erie. What's your mindset? Like, what's your process like at that point in terms of just kind of like figuring everything out for yourself?
Just that dog mentality kicked in. Like, they gave me opportunity and I just wanted to make some shake of it, Just watching draft night, it was a lot of players, I felt like that should have been drafted over me. So I just definitely had like a super chip on my shoulder, and I just felt different. Like I just knew I was destined to be in this league, and I knew I could stick. So like I just didn't think about nothing else but like just working out and try to stay in the league.
How do you think? Because I feel like since you got to New Orleans, we'll get to this year. Like your offense took like a crazy jump this year, but like you got to New Orleans, you just were locking up. Like defensively, it feels like from day one, you just were locking up. How do you feel like you prepared yourself for like the NBA defense coming from school in terms of like being able to adjust that quickly?
I think that was just my calling card for me to get in the door. Like shout out to C. Brew, T. Spoon. I'll be in the gym, and coming from college, you think everything is about buckets, scoring, like just having the ball in your hands, and like they really just came at me like, "You tripping, bro? Like you better pick up full court, like guard everybody, be in the right spots on defense. Like that's how you gonna stay on the floor. And you know, everybody has games. So like once you really get your opportunity and show you can defend and get on the floor and, you know, playing out there 20 minutes, you're gonna eventually show your game. So that's just what happened. But that was my calling card, just defense, you know? So being tough, being a dog.
Trey, what did you see as a teammate on that regard?
I would say one of the first things that I saw with him that really stuck out was his playmaking ability, which I didn't know that he had. And, you know, okay, so let me bring this back a little bit. So my rookie year, me and Naji, we were kind of like in the same type of rotation. Like we would either play or we didn't play. And so we had a lot of times where we played in condition league games. And that's when we really got close, was when we were in like the stay ready games. And, you know, we were just waiting on our turn to get back into the game, get our opportunity. And the times that we would be playing and it'd be like the garbage time minutes, we didn't really see too much of the playmaking there because it was feed the star time. And during that time, Naji was labeled as the star. So, yeah, that was funny. But then my second year, I remember when I want to say BI ended up getting hurt, or BI got hurt, and then somebody else got hurt. I think it was Z, and it was me and Naj. We were like the two. It was me, Naj, and her. We were like the main wings playing, and Naj was cooking, and like he was averaging like 18, 6, and 5. And I was just like, all right, like he's like really good. Like he actually has a chance to do something really good for a long time in the NBA. And I think that's when I really noticed, like, you know, he had a chance to, be really good. I mean, he obviously is a really good player. And he showed that during that time, my second year.
Was that a conscious effort in terms of your offensive skill set from a play? Like, were you doing anything in particular to change from when you got in?
No, not really. I just more opportunity. Like some guys was out and like the opportunity just presented itself. I think at the time, like the team really just needed us to do that. And like I said, man, there's a lot of people with game out here. Up to that point, you know, I was really out there for defense and just to hold it down for the guys who don't play defense. So when they got hurt, man, just opportunity presented itself, and I just stayed ready.
Oh, also, I feel like I have to mention one thing that I loved about playing, you know, being on the floor with Naji was that he was never scared to throw lobs. He would throw a lob from half court. There was one time, he threw one off the shot clock. But hey, I was hyped though because we had my rookie year, we were scared with throwing lobs, and we probably weren't the greatest lob converting team. But I know one thing: when I was in the game with Naji, I was running the floor and I got layups, and those are the guys you want to play with, and those are the guys you want to be on the court with. And so, you know, he's one of those people that I really and truly miss, like being on the court with.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any of those experiences? You guys had a lot of great moments, but do you have any of those experiences in particular with Z, where you were just like, where he would do something and he's, you know, every once in a while, it seems like every, you know, week or so, he'll make a play that just doesn't make sense, and he'll do something where like this doesn't seem sort of like physically possible that he's able to do that. Like, did you have any of those with him where you just were kind of blown away?
Man, I remember when I plugged the dude in Brooklyn. I threw the lob behind my head. Like, I thought it was about to be a turnover. Like, I thought I threw the lob too high. He goes and gets the ball like this and dunks it. I just couldn't believe it. Like, Z has done some things in basketball that I've never seen in my life. Like, in practice, like, he's done some amazing things. And when I first came, he played with Lonzo Ball. So, like, the stuff I used to see in practice, like, lobs he used to catch, like, it just was crazy. Like, Z's unbelievable for real.
It feels like the combination of the explosiveness with his just balance and size, like it's truly unprecedented. Like there's not really a comp for him.
Oh, seriously, like he's 1-on-1, bro. Like guarding him in practice, like that's one of the only people in life. Like I really got frustrated because I couldn't get a stop for real. Like he's nice, bro.
Yeah, Naj used to cuss us out. He used to cuss us out in practice.
Oh yeah,
like,
bro. No, I
didn't,
bro. No, I didn't, bro.
be mad like get in the gap. Why I'm not in my gap?
Why wouldn't you be in your gap? Like Z's driving and he's supposed to be in the help side and he's not. Playing in his ass on the other side. Z scores the ball. I'm frustrated. That was his help.
How often would this happen?
Yeah, no, I won't get it.
A lot.
Who was the main culprit?
Murphy and Jose.
He would blame me. He blamed me.
And like you see what he's doing, like they would go together on the side, like butt buddies, and laugh at me the whole time.
Would that just make it worse?
Yeah, because then I would scream at them for real, and then they would start laughing again. The worst, bro.
This explains the interaction of you need the confrontation to become closer with somebody.
Exactly. Like I'm really frustrated, and they're laughing, but at the end of the day, those are my dogs, and I'm gonna laugh with them after.
After he gonna definitely laugh.
Can you guys, Trey and I have talked about this a bunch. Can you explain from your perspective, Naji, with Herb? And obviously, this year sucked in terms of his health, but in general, like he's the best of the best. Just his ability to lock up and what you saw being another person who prides yourself on that side of the ball, and just seeing like his level of skill at doing, really one of the hardest things there is to do in the sport.
When Herb came in, I thought I was a defender. And then all it took was about a training camp, like Herb blocking threes. And he's at the baseline when he first got the shot off. Like Herb's getting over screens. Like he's in the help side, taking charge. Like Herb, like is really gifted defensively. Like seriously, bro. Like, and like you just got to be around him to see like just. I don't know, bro, how to explain it. He's just blessed to be like who he is on defense, bro. Like, seriously, he's seriously gifted.
Trey, how much of it you think is just instinct versus like film?
A lot of his instinct, but I will say too, like Herb is like extremely smart, and like I feel like people don't know that because he doesn't say much. But then there'll be times. There's been many times after games, Herb will send me a clip and be like, "Yo, next time be here so then we can switch." And I'm like, I don't even know how you even thought of that. Like it's some stuff that like it doesn't make sense until he explains it, and then you're like, dang, like that would just shut down like all these plays. Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Right. Heard that of a dude, man.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's one of the guys who's must see TV defending, where he's like, where you're watching him do it, and it feels like the frustration is building up just by him doing what he does.
Yeah, like when Herb first got hurt this year, like I started watching Herb defensive highlights so I could take some notes on what he was doing since he was gone. I was trying to find a way to fill in the gap. Obviously, I wasn't hurt, but I was trying though.
Naji, do you have a favorite from the Nola experience? Do you have a favorite, like, you have a million stories and a million moments that you sort of love, but was there anything that stands out as like this was just kind of like the thing you sort of laugh about the most?
Laugh about the most. Let me think. Man, I got so many stories, bro. Like
Trey's giving him the look.
I'll tell mine with Naji. That's the most appropriate for the podcast. But back my rookie year, we lived in the same apartment complex, and so I would take Naji to practice, and that would be our time. Like that's when we like kind of started getting close. When we would have our rides to practice. He'd be in control of the music and all this other stuff. There was one time I was at a stoplight and Billy Hernan-Gomez was in front of me. And I saw the light turn green, but I was looking down at my phone. And I'm inched up and all I heard was a big, like a loud smack. And I hit Billy's car. And I was like, and Nash the whole time, he's watching me like scoot up. And he don't say anything until after I hit his car. So then we get to the practice facility. Billy's shirt is covered in brown coffee stain because he had some coffee. And when I hit his car, he spilled all of it on his shirt.
Oh my God, I remember that, bro. What the hell?
You know what? Now it's starting to flow. I'm starting to remember all these good ones too. Here's another time. He was my locker, like he was my locker person. He was right beside me. He opened up his locker, like the bottom locker. He had football cleats in his locker. And he started running routes in the locker room. Like, just doing the most random stuff ever.
I used to use Murph shower shoes all the time. They're like that.
He took my slides
That seems
and took
not
them
nice.
home one time.
That seems not nice.
The slides that I wore to the facility.
That seems
he
like
took them home
that
with
seems
him.
like bullying. That's textbook.
What's funny,
Yeah.
sometimes he didn't even notice that he was doing it, which is even worse at times.
I took a shower in the slides. He went to the facility.
Did you say anything or no?
It was too late. I was already gone.
Oh, you already
Yeah,
gone.
I said so. Yeah, I said so because my slides were wet. And I was mad.
Bro, we had some roommate days. I miss y'all, man.
Nah, man, I miss Naji, man. Like I'll say this too. Like the NBA is a business, and everybody understands. Like when people go to different teams, like there's no hard feelings, there's no love lost because you understand. Like it is a business. Like it is what it is. But when Naji left and went to Dallas, that one really hurt me. Like no offense to all other teammates that have been traded or left, but that one really hurt me because that was really my dog. He was my evil twin, as we would always call it.
Yeah, it's all good though. Hopefully, we're good enough. We'll become good enough where we can link back up one day.
Yeah, no colluding, but yeah, absolutely.
I feel like that has to happen. That's gonna happen.
Absolutely.
Before Jose heard it, bro.
Absolutely.
Let's get the gang back together. Let's talk about the jump this year. So you go to Dallas. What was your thought process besides, it was a great deal, but like in terms of like making the switch, why'd you end up doing it?
Just felt like it was right. I loved what the team did the year before. Just who's around the program as far as just like how many Hall of Famers and just great players, J. Kidd, Dirk, Michael Finn, Nico's over there, just a great guy that's been in there for a while. So I just liked the team. And when I got over there, I just felt like a rookie again. Like the team just went back to the finals, had two superstars, got great wings, PJ, great bigs. So I was just trying to figure out how I'm going to fit in and just as motivated, just to not be there, just, get in sometimes just to stick and be a rotational player. So just hard work and dedication. That was all my mental. That was all I was thinking really going into there. Just work hard, earn your spot.
We've done stuff with a bunch of your teammates this year, and everyone feels like has their own version of like the early Kai and Luka stories. Sort of like we were talking about with Zion, where it's like the first time you play with them, you kind of, it's one thing to play against them or to sort of know them, but it's another thing to be their teammate and see it up close. Did you have anything with those guys?
Kai, like Kai's a superstar. So when you get in there, like you're just really not trying to step on nobody's toes. So we hooping and, I'm just really passive. But like Kai, like he's a basketball connoisseur. So Kai watched my highlights probably up to this point. Like he knows my real game, what I'm trying to say. So I'm being passive. And his pickup. He like yelling at me like, yo, bro, like you bugging, bro, like get busy. And like ever since then, bro, like I just felt comfortable, to do what I did this year. Like from like day one, I ain't even talked to him or nothing, bro. We just bumping. He telling me, get busy out here. And I just like, damn, that's crazy. This Kyrie. Luka just the chillest guy ever, bro. Like, you just feel like he was best friend from day one, bro. Like, he just a great dude, bro. Never mad. Just always happy, bro. And he just a Hall of Fame, like, flamethrower when it comes to basketball. Like, him too, like, he's like Z. Like, in practice, like, he just does crazy things, bro. Like, act like it's normal, bro. Like, that shit just be amazing, fool. Kyrie, too. Like, Kai is amazing in practice, bro. Like, the layups he makes, like, what y'all see on TV, I swear, like, in practice is 10 times better. And it's full speed live play, too. Like, he does amazing shit, bro.
It's interesting about him watching your film, and that sort of like, kind of
I'm
like.
not saying he did watch my film. I'm just saying, like, he knew my game.
He just,
I don't want to say like he watched my film. Right?
But you obviously had a great season, and we could like run through the numbers. But like offensively, you were you sort of surpassed every sort of statistical place you were at before, And like, I'm like like how much of that is just like you just improving sort of naturally, but then also like the confidence from those guys and just playing with those guys and then being like, oh, we're just going to put the ball in the right spot for you where you're just going to like, you can kind of like do your thing and you don't got to like think too much.
I think it just all goes into one, like working hard, just being around those guys. They giving me confidence. You know, the coaches is giving us that freedom, you know, and the opportunity that presented itself, you know. Much like New Orleans when we got hurt, we was down 7 guys this year, and you know the team needed that. So, and then I just put the work in this summer, so I knew I was capable of it, and my teammates, you know, wanted me to do that. So, it just felt real easy. Everything felt like it just was flowing this year. Nothing was forced.
When the trade happened, what was your like initial perspective on it? Because Trey and I talked about it that night. Like that shit was crazy for the people in the league not involved. So if you're in it, it's got to feel a little bit weirder just it happening like in real time.
I mean, I understood that like business is business as far as the NBA, but I was hurt, man. Luka's my dog for real. Like, and I love AD. That's my guy right there. Like, he's been great with us. You know, he woke us with open arms. We woke him with open arms. Like, that's my guy. But as far as just personally, like, I just was hurt to lose Luka, man. I mean, it was a great time spent with him, the short time we did, and I mean, I was just hurt to see him go.
Trey, do you have perspective? We did a thing a couple days after. Do you have perspective on it now with like a little bit of time?
On the whole Luka trade?
Just the whole thing around, everything around it. It's just I mean, I was going to ask you, Naji, about even the game when he came back. Like that was just a fucking moment. That was like a historic NBA moment. Like there hasn't been a game like that that probably has ever happened.
No, seriously, I couldn't believe it. But I just knew he was gonna go crazy like that, though. Like first game home, Luka wanted to be in Dallas. Probably, you know, he probably never thought he was gonna leave. I don't know what he was thinking, but man, that was crazy, bro. To see him cry before the game, like I don't know what he was feeling, but I just could imagine what that moment felt like for him.
You played great that game. Did you guys have any interaction or not? Or was it just kind of just like
Yeah, I talked to my friends throughout the game, every game, to be honest, you know. But nah, it
Too
was
much.
just too much. Try to knock you off your square. But it was great for real. Like you said, it was historic, bro. I would just throughout the game, bro, I just told myself I have to have a good game. Like I'm blessed to be in this moment right here. Like people gonna remember this moment forever, bro. So like I just knew I had to show out for real.
I'm curious both your guys' perspective on this because you both teams had to deal with this sort of unfortunately this year, and it's just a part of the NBA and it's a part of sports. But like
Mm-hmm.
all the injuries, I mean, Naj, there's a point you mentioned the 7 guys. Like you guys had
Mm-hmm.
that, you were sick, like you had a great year, but there was just a lot of shit going on around you that is like it's hard enough to play in the NBA without all that, and then you have all this different stuff. It
Right.
can feel like an avalanche. So like, what's your kind of like perspective on like juggling all of those things?
Honestly, I think the hard work just defeats everything. Like next man up, and you just gotta stay ready. To be honest, like you said, bro, you could never like guess that's going to happen. You never want that to happen. You never go into a season expecting that's going to happen. It's just like next man up, just staying locked in because you never know when your time's coming. You never know what opportunity you might get. So you just got to stay locked in. And like what happened to us, you may never know what happens to another team. You know, so like somebody else may get hurt. You may end up beating that team going to the playoffs, and you know having to go in the playoffs and do your thing until somebody comes back. So you just got to stay ready and work hard.
Yeah, I would say for my perspective, I think I learned a lot more about myself, just trying to be a better leader. And
Mm.
I think it was because, you're so used to playing with a group of guys and guys get hurt and then you're playing with people you have not played with before. And so like the chemistry on court is so important because like you just know what somebody else is going to do. Like, like you guys know each other's tendencies and all that stuff. And so when you're on the court and people don't know those tendencies, like your first initial reaction might be to get frustrated, but then you have to like remember to give them grace because they haven't played, they haven't been on the court with you, they haven't shared the court with you at all, you haven't shared the court with them. So there's times where I might miss somebody, and then it's like I gotta be the leader to be like, look, I can't miss you on this one. Like I'm gonna find you on the next one.
Right.
And I think that's what helped me the most was that I feel like I grew as a leader throughout the year because I was kind of forced into that position because like people they expect me to score the ball. They expect me to be the guy.
Yeah, facts. Just to pick up back on what he said too, like I just feel like it helped me grow as a basketball player, even though like I may not be the star player for any team ever. I know how to get 18, or sometimes now I know how to fall back and involve the best player, or I know how to be the leader on the defensive end, and that's all because guys been out, and sometimes I had to be the best player. So like I just seen the game from so many different aspects. So it's just easy for me to play my role now because I just know how to hoop. If that makes sense.
And and what we're talking about by starting with the defense and honestly starting with being a dog, like what you're always going to be able to do, so everything else is like
Facts.
like cherry on top. Like you don't need
Carefree,
like a certain
easy.
number of shots. Yeah, you don't need a certain number of shots. You don't need, so it's why you basically fit on every team.
Facts. Yeah,
how do you look at, so like obviously we're doing this in May, so like who knows what else is going to happen this summer or anything like that, but like assuming you guys end up taking Cooper, which feels probably pretty likely, like with the way this team sort of like matches up, what are you kind of looking forward to in terms of that, with Kai's health as well, but then also just like in terms of your own game, you're like, this is what I want to get better at.
I want to get better. I just want to get better, like just being more of a star in my role, like you said, like Trey said, like I'm good at playmaking, so I just want to, sharpen it to where like, I know how to do it great every time. You know what I'm saying? Especially with Coop coming around, like just to feature him and make him look like the best player he could be would be amazing to me, and just a blessing to play alongside that. What's gonna come with Coop? So like, just want to be a great playmaker and star in my role. Scoring is easy, bro.
I have a question. I was meaning to ask this, and then when you brought up the fighting thing earlier, when you get into because you are just this is sort of like your tendency. If you get into it with somebody, like how long does it generally take you to kind of like? Are you like hot after the fact for like the rest of the night, or are you kind of just like it is what it is? Like I'm just gonna just like this is just part of the game, like just competition.
Happy. I feel like I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Like it was part of the game. Nobody got hurt. Everybody's alive. Everything is good. We got another game coming up soon. Like, I don't care. Like, in the moment, yeah, I'm mad a little bit, but after, like, we're not going to fight again. Like, this is not real beef. I probably really don't know you, so, like, I don't care.
Trey, have you ever been in a fight?
Yes.
Yeah, I have. I have, but not many, I'll tell you that. I don't be ruffling too many feathers, and people don't be, they leave me alone, so.
I feel like you're a happy guy. I feel like you're not. I feel like you're not.
I be chilling, man.
Someone's got to do something.
Too.
You're a happy guy, but you like fighting.
I like confrontation to an extent. Like I thrive in like those situations where it's like, all right, like during a game, like there was one game this year actually against the Mavericks. There was a little confrontation that happened with one of the Mavericks players. There was a lot of words that were flying around, but I knew the whole time I was looking at Naji. I'm like, yo, bro, if he stepped to me, I'm expecting you to handle that too.
Just break it up, dog. I can't do that, dog.
Before we wrap, Naji, what are you watching in the playoffs? Like, what's interesting for you?
Right now, though, to be honest, the physicality, bro. Like, they are fighting in the playoffs. And I love it. Like, OKC versus Denver right now, like, I'm just tuned in, bro. I just love watching them battle, bro. Like, that is great basketball right there, to be honest. Them boys playing hard, too. So, I just kind of been watching, like, it's just such a high level, too, bro. It seems like the NBA is, like, really back, bro. Like, the fans are into it, bro. Like, it's just good basketball all around right now. And a lot of the big names went down, too, this year. So, like, I'm just excited to see like the NBA transform and other people get notoriety and become great for real.
Well, it feels like it's the new generation is having the moment finally. Like the crossover is happening.
Exactly, bro.
What do you think?
And I'm blessed to be a part of it.
You've as good as anybody could do, I would say. You've always played Shea tough, play Ant tough. Like, what do you sort of think in terms of like just like recommendations with those two in particular about just, what you've done that's been successful and what you think like other teams should try to do?
I think like they should pray more for real. Like, especially with them two, like just pray, bro. Like, honestly, they 3-level scorers who like just really you can just see the dog in them, bro, and the young guys who are chasing the championship, bro, and they hungry right now. So right now you just got hope for the best, bro. Go out there, just do what you can.
Maybe change the type of prayer, like
Yeah, maybe change it. Like maybe stop asking stuff for you and ask for the team.
Trey, what do
Ask
you
for the team goal.
what for you going into this weekend? Knicks Celtics is tonight. Indy's obviously already clinched, and then Sunday is going to be crazy. Like, what do you the next couple of days? What are you watching, and what do you care about?
I mean, these are big games right now. Yeah, like the OKC Denver game. They're going to game 7. Like this is going to be a very important game for a lot of people. For Jokic and his future in Denver, it's going to be important for Shai and his, I guess, legacy or what, like his resume, because he's at the second round again, and they lost last year, and they were killing everybody during the regular season, and it's just like you got to figure out what you got to do in the postseason to win games, and because that's the most important part. It doesn't matter what you do in the regular season, because you get to the postseason, as you see with the Cavs, they ended up losing in in the second round to the Pacers. Like, it doesn't really matter what you do during the regular season. So I'm excited to see that, as well as, this Boston Knicks series. Like, I want to see how it finishes out. I think New York getting to the conference finals would be, might be a detriment to the infrastructure of New York City, but I would love to see it. I think it's going to be hilarious.
I love Denver, but I just want to see Ant and Shai play against each other, bro. Like Trey said, like, Ant got out the second round too last year, right?
No, the conference finals. They love Dallas.
So he wants to get to the chip, and then Shai's had an unbelievable year, and I know he wants to finish that off with a chip. So them meeting in the conference final, that would be crazy.
I do feel like OKC, Minnesota, and then Indy, New York. There's so many different storylines in. If we end up getting that,
somebody's gonna win their first chip. Somebody's winning their first chip.
Can I give you one more? Can I give you one more, dog? Nembhard.
Oh yeah, I love bro. He's definitely a dog.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Well, he has the look on it. He has that look on his face whenever he hits he did that in Game 5 the other day. It's like he won't take a shot for 2.5 quarters, and then he'll hit a 25-foot three or whatever, and he doesn't smile or anything. He just
doesn't smile, doesn't react, nothing, bro. Just get back on defense.
Yeah, it's just cold, and I feel like it's backbreaking because people still like. I guess maybe they're changing finally now, but people didn't even give him the credit after last year. Like they always kind of slept on him, and it's like he's the whole like Ty's obviously great. And Pascal, they got like a lot of really good players, but like there's a reason why like they started playing better when he got back.
Right, for sure. Nah, bro's definitely a dog.
Trey, you want to close it out?
Let's see. I'll have one more question for Naji here. So what was your most important moment in New Orleans that, helped shape you to become who you are now in Dallas, as well as just, propel yourself. You're like the rest of the time you're in New Orleans.
As far as my important moment as what, like
it could be a game, it could be a game practice, it could be, something that a coach said, something that another teammate said, anything.
What about like if it's people I met?
Yeah, that's also for sure.
Honestly though, like the people that I met throughout the New Orleans, like the wings, like they truly inspired me to be great because number one, it showed me like it's just so much talent, like, and you have to work very hard to be here. And number two, just like I just wanted to enjoy the success of my bros, like just being around Josh, trying to get on the floor with Josh. Then you and Herb coming in, bro, and like what y'all brought to the game and just trying to stick around y'all, bro. Like just being around y'all really motivated me, bro, to try to be great, bro. And like sort of kind of way, because I really don't care what y'all think. But when I went left to Dallas, bro, I wanted to make y'all proud, bro. Because we built a bond, bro. So we worked hard to get where we at. Like you said, bro, it's been times where we ain't played, bro. Like at all. Like we didn't know if we was playing in the Get Ready League. So just to be where we at now, bro, like just making y'all guys proud, man. My dog.
That's a good way to end it. Naji, we will see you we'll see you somewhere. We'll see you somewhere soon. We don't know what city. But
Very soon.
We'll get some
Very
more
soon,
stories.
my guy. I appreciate that.
Everywhere.